Alright guys, so chapter 4 is a lot about, we're all about polynomials. Chapter 5 is about polynomials too, okay? We simplified the polynomials in chapter 4 to just being multiplied by each other. Alright, now we're going to start dealing with fractions. So we're going to deal with actually dividing polynomials and simplifying polynomials, okay? So in order to do this chapter, we have to know, of course, the rule for multiplying fractions, okay? Just quick review, if you're going to multiply fractions, you multiply the top together, so p times r is pr, and you multiply the bottom together, Q times S is QS. Okay, so you're just going to multiply straight across on the top, straight across on the bottom. Okay, now to simplify fractions, quick review on that as well. All right, if you have something common, if you're multiplying on top and multiplying on the bottom, and you have a common factor there, you can cancel those common factor out. Okay, so the R's cancel out here, and you're left with P over Q. All right, so that brings us to the laws of exponents for the quotients. Again, they're very, very similar. Remember, if a to the m times a to the n was a to the m plus n, if you're going to divide them, we're just going to subtract instead of add them. Okay, so 4 to the 7th over 4 squared is going to be 4 to the 7 minus 2 power, which is 4 to the 5th. Okay, and you could actually simplify that out and get a number if you had a calculator. Alright, now power to a quotient is very much like power to a power. Alright, just like you would distribute it, to both products. If you did the quotient of the product, if it was a times b, you distribute the m to the a and the b. Same way for the quotient. Distribute to the top and to the bottom. Act the power on both of them. Alright, so same way here. 3 halves to the 7th power. We're going to take the 7. We're going to enact it to the top and the bottom, so it's going to be 3 to the 7th over 2 to the 7th. And once again, you could simplify that with a calculator. Okay, let's go to the example. So the examples here. Begin with simplifying very, very simply. Okay, you got to take the numbers first and just simplify them as much as you can. Okay, so 9/3 is going to simplify to 3 over 1, so you're going to 3 on top and 1 on bottom, so you don't need to worry about it. Okay, now you got to simplify the x's and the y's. All right, to do that, all right, you look at how many you have on top, how many you have on bottom. All right, there's one way to do it. You could do it by doing the subtraction, like I said. I think this is probably easier. Look at how many x's are on top, 3 of them. How many are on bottom? 2 of them. Well, every one of them that is common cancels out. So what's going to happen? You're going to be left with, when you cancel all of them out, you're going to be left with 1 on top. Okay? When you do the same thing with the y's, you've got 5 on bottom, 2 on top. 2 of them are going to cancel, so you're left with 3 on bottom. I think that's the most simple way to do these problems. Okay, same thing here down to number 2. All right, we got to reduce our numbers. 4/18 is going to reduce down to 2/9. Okay, the a's, we've got 3 on top, 1 on bottom. 1 is going to cancel out. You're going to be left with 2 on top. A squared. All right, for the b's, you got 4 on bottom, 1 on top. Cancel out the 1 that we have. You're left with 3 on the bottom still. So b to the 3rd. All right. Number 3 here. Number 3, you're going to multiply these two together. So remember, we start by multiplying straight across. So we've got 3c to the 4th, d to the 5th, over 12 c to the 2nd, d to the 2nd. All right. So that's our multiplication. Now it's just like a problem from above. So reduce the fraction. You're going to have 1 on top, 4 on bottom, with the numbers. So you don't have to worry about the 1. All right. C's, you cancel out 2 of them. You're left with 2 on top. And the d's, you cancel out 2 of them, you're left with 3 on top. So, c squared, d cubed, all over 4. That's pretty simple, okay? Now, power of a quotient, we've got to distribute, right, enact that 2 to both the top and the bottom. So this is going to be the same as 3r squared, whole thing squared. Probably want to do this step just to make sure you don't mess it up. And the 5s cubed squared. Okay, now you have power of a product for both of these, and these 2's have to be enacted to both the 3 and the r, and both the 5 and the s cubed. Okay, so on top you're going to have 9r squared. On bottom you're going to have 25s. Remember, power to a power is multiplied to the 6th. Okay, now you can't reduce that at all, so you're all done. All right, number 5. This gets a little bit trickier. Okay, we're just gonna make it more and more intense as we go. So for this one, before we do the multiplication, before you multiply these two monomials together, you have to do the power to a power. Okay, so enact that 3. So we're going to have y to the 12th on, well, we can have the 4x over 3y to the 7th times, okay, y to the 4th to the 3rd is y to the 12th, and we've got 2 to the 3rd is 8, and x squared to the 3rd is x to the 6th. Now we can do our multiplying straight across, just multiplying fractions. So 4xy to the 12th over 3x to the 6th y to the 7th. Now we can reduce. Can you reduce those numbers? Nope. So you leave your 4 and your 3. Alright, but the exponents you can. For the x's, you got 6 on bottom, 1 on top. So you're gonna be, when you cancel everything out, you're gonna be left with 5 on the bottom. And for the y's, 12 on top, 7 on the bottom. Cancel them out, you're left with 5 on top. 4y to the 5th over 3x to the 5th. And the last problem here. Okay, we've got a power to a power first, so this 2 has to distribute everywhere. So we've got negative 2 squared is 4, u to the 6th, v to the 4th, all over 12 u squared v to the 4th. Alright, now we can reduce. Reduce that fraction and be left with 1 on top, 3 on bottom for the numbers. Alright, for the u's, you cancel out everything you can, and you're left with 4 u's on top. And the v's actually just totally cancel out because you got 4 on top, 4 on bottom, so v's are gone. That's the final answer. U to the 4th over 3. That's it, guys. That's simple. Do some work.